and welcome to the Enchantress Society with Tia Johnson, a place where you get to be you, where you get to unlock your magic in a sacred and judgment-free zone. The Enchantress Society is your witchy sisterhood of enchanting women who guides and supports you along your spiritual journey from the mundane to the magical. I invite you to sit for a spell as I interview guests and spill the spiritual tea on how we can create the magical life we deserve. Hello, Enchantress, and welcome back to another episode. I hope that your day is lovely, depending on what time you're listening to this. So was lovely, is lovely, continue to be lovely, and may the rest of your week be the same. I am in a really good place right now for multiple reasons. And I just hope that this energy, this frequency, all the things that are swirling around, may it also be extended to you. All right. Before we dive into the topic of this episode, I just wanted to take a moment to just slow down a little bit and acknowledge that we are almost at the midpoint of the year. Like, really let that sink in. And I hope that you are giving yourself enough credit for what you have accomplished thus far. It's super easy to continue to be on go and think, oh yeah, summer's coming, summer body, plan a vacation, etc. I'm encouraging you to slow down a little bit. It's already Mercury Retrograde. Slow down a little bit and take note of all the things you accomplished. I don't care how small, how big, since January until now. I was just talking about this on my Instagram stories about giving yourself enough credit. And then, yes, we are almost at the midpoint of the year. So don't let this time go by where you are, I don't want to say discounting what you've done. You're just not giving it enough acknowledgement. Okay, so give yourself your gold sticker, your Bravo Zulu, your kudos, your blue check mark. Okay. Give yourself all the validation, all the credit, all the high accolades. Okay. And also the card I pulled for this episode coincides with what I said yesterday on my Instagram story. I pulled the card of the day, card of the episode. So we're going to get into that about giving yourself enough credit and just basking in your growth, your accomplishments. Okay. All right. So next, if we are not connected on Instagram, let's remedy this situation. Okay. Main Instagram is cosmic_goddess_. Excuse me. I don't even know my own. This happened last time with the podcast. It's cosmic_witch_goddess. And the podcast is Enchantress_society_podcast. Whew. Last episode, I got the main one right and not the podcast. But this also happens when you don't have your computer in front of you. So you're not looking exactly at the names. I have my notebook in front of me today. All right. Last, before we get into the topic, I've made the Activate Your Inner Goddess Masterclass available now on my website. So if you missed it when it was live, you can still get access to the program, the videos, the worksheets. It was a 3-day masterclass. So you can go to my website, tiamariejohnson.com, and get that there. I also just wrapped up the Cosmic Goddess Mastermind. It was a little bit bittersweet. It was bittersweet. So that was the live Mastermind with the live Q&A. So you can still get access to the course. I don't know when I'm going to launch it again with the live weekly Q&As, but you can get access to all the material today with the Cosmic Goddess Mastermind and also the Goddess Mastery course. So you can go to my website and then click on Boutique. All right, so preparing for your level up in entitled people. I was really, again, trying hard to come up with a topic. Actually, I don't want to say trying hard because I do let it flow. And excuse me, sometimes I don't batch the recordings. And that's when I get a little stuck, like, oh man, what can I talk about? Sometimes you're just in that creative space and I can record 4 podcast episodes done. And then other times it's just, oh no. As you realize with the previous episode. So I was thinking, what can I talk about that is relevant? Because there are so many things, so many energies swirling about. Right now, Jupiter is in Aries, so there's going to be a lot of expansion and in an aggressive manner. And aggressive doesn't always mean bad. It just means very focused, very determined, very passionate, creative. So we got a lot of expansion coming, a lot of that good fire energy, that transformative energy. We have the Mercury Retrograde that is also asking us to slow down, which is interesting because we're slowing down in other places, speeding up in some places. So it's like slowing down to speed up. But also those who were born during retrograde, you tend to thrive during this time. So case by case basis to look at it. And I thought as eclipse season 2, we're approaching another eclipse. How can I help the people? And it's all the level up that we are about to do again, because we've been leveling up. And now with this eclipse season, full moon coming up, it's going to be more things coming full circle and other things getting cleared out. So when that happens, like 2 sides of a coin, there's a good side and a bad side. And unfortunately, when we go for it, whatever that is, the degree, that particular position at work, the house, moving from a different state to another country, whatever that it is for us, there will always be entitled people, near and far, meaning family members or someone who you helped 5-10 years ago, or excuse me, someone who helped you 5-10 years ago. And they're just like, yeah, remember me? I'm the one who told you about the job. Wasn't me. You wouldn't have worked there. And if you hadn't worked there, you wouldn't have had the money to go to that event where you met that person. And what? Like, wow. Okay, they're Columbo. Like, chill. This isn't a mystery to be solved or anything like that. All right. What's going on here? They want to connect the dots from so many years ago and try to make you remember a previous version of you. Remember back then when we was, what? When we were kids, no, I had a different childhood. Which is okay, but don't put that on me to try to make me feel bad to help you. Again, it's okay to help people, is those who feel like, because you've gotten to a certain point. Notice I didn't say you gotten successful, wildly successful, because success to you looks different to someone else. So you may be thinking, I'm not where I want to be. I'm closer to where I want to be, but I'm not there yet. Someone's like, man, she made it. And you're just like, what? I had one collab with a mid-level company on Instagram, or yeah, I got that promotion and I'm sharing the good news, but that doesn't mean now I have to pay for lunch every time we go out. Or you purchased your dream home. Now it's come visit me now more often. Like, no, this is not a party house. You may think I have it like that, and I may have it like that, but that doesn't mean you have VIP access to it. And so I want to help you through this process. I know how it feels when people feel entitled to your time, your money, just you. And what happens when those people are friends, family, coworker, a coach, even sometimes people have bad mentors. Okay, let's get into a few things. So I want to talk about the card that I pulled first, and then we're going to dive into a few paths to help you and all that jazz. The card that popped up today is Nine of Pentacles. And this is from the Daily Witch Tarot. I made this recommendation on my Instagram in a recent reel about must-have or my go-to apps. The Nine of Pentacles states, I create my own success and all is well in my world. There is a certain satisfaction to be had in knowing that you have earned everything. You worked hard and now that work is finally paying off. Congratulations. Whenever the Nine of Pentacles appears, it indicates a time when you can relax and bask in your achievements. Not that you can stop working altogether, of course, since the world doesn't stand still, but maybe slow down a bit and catch your breath. Even treat yourself to something special as a pat on the back. You deserve a lot of credit, so be sure to give it to yourself. That's interesting because yesterday on my Instagram stories, I said, give yourself a pat on the back. So that's a reminder, okay? Give credit where credit is due, namely to yourself. All right. Feelings. This is a time where there are a lot of energy shifts and you may be feeling like, oh, maybe I could give people a certain leeway to help them understand that, I just needed this space to grow. Here's the thing. This part is going to feel a little weird because the leveling up will make you want to share that success and growth. But we have to be very, very, very discerning. So one thing to do, or we're going to start off with to help you get prepared for this level up, is to expand upon your daily or weekly rituals. For example, one of my morning rituals includes mind prepping. So I would increase how much I mind prep. I might up it another 30 minutes, another hour, more times of the day as opposed to just morning and evening. Maybe I'll make room in the afternoon. Your ritual may be running to clear your head. Okay, it doesn't always have to be magical. It's something that's repetitive that gets you to raise your energy and so forth. So you need to expand on this to help keep you centered. It doesn't mean you won't have days where you need to cry, let it out, be off a bit. This is more along the lines of, let's say, for example, in a video game, when you get to a certain level, you had to accomplish certain tasks in order to get to the next level. Or sometimes you could get to that next level, but it's really hard to beat because you had to power up on the previous level. You had to do the certain tasks so you can get enough energy or points, whatever. So your level bar will go up. So if you were on level 16, maybe you need to be on level 18 in order to really pass the next level. So that's what I'm saying here is you got to expand upon what you do right now based on where you're at. So this is where you're going to be maintaining yourself. You may feel like, oh, but I need to do something. I need to create. I need to just slow down and pour more into yourself. Because at this point, You've done all you can do for that thing that you want. So if you've been working on manifesting home, love, whatever the case may be, all these energies at this time are helping you. They're propelling this process. So this in-between state of when you've done everything you can do and when that manifestation is coming tends to be a little bit restless. So, but this is a good time to pour more into yourself because this level of you will be done. And the next level of you requires more of you. So when you expand upon this, think of it also as when you look at your eating habits, you're going to eat a little bit better. And then you're going to do some form of workout, whether it's fast-paced walking, so you're expanding more on your health. And then you're going to find a therapist. So now you're expanding on your mental health. Then you work with a Reiki master for healing. Now you're working on your spiritual health. This is what I mean is expanding more, going deeper, because that next level of you requires that of you. So start already putting yourself in that position. Just like when a job gives you more work, that's a little bit more than your pay grade, and they tell you, well, this will look good on your resume. Like, it better. All right. So you're doing a little bit more to already get your foot in the door. So when that manifestation does come, you're ready to receive even better. You won't second guess it. You'll know, like, oh, that's it. All right. So that's one. Expand upon your daily rituals or your weekly rituals. Okay. Start cleaning your house to make room for the new. It's so interesting because yesterday the moon was in Virgo. I'm a Virgo. And this must have been around 10 o'clock last night. I just threw all my old shoes away. I mean, shoes that I had for years that I don't wear. All of them. They're in the trash bag. Now, when I finish recording, I'm going to throw them down the trash chute. Like, they're done. I have new shoes that represent new Tia. That felt cleansing. Then I put the dishes in the dishwasher. I started the laundry. I cleaned the dining room table. I just started doing all this stuff. And just like that, out of nowhere, the moon in Virgo was influencing that. And I'm a Virgo. Cleaning your home helps make way for clarity of mind. It sends a note to the universe that you're making room for the new. You're ready for this level up. Because what if it comes and you don't have room for it? Or your environment is just so chaotic and stuff going on that you won't notice it. That may be even worse is when you walk past something like, well, I didn't even see it. What? Okay. So this is where you can use a bit of magic too. You can make a concoction for cleansing your floors. Okay. Open your windows. Let that fresh air in. Have some cinnamon by the window. So that way when the wind blows, prosperity is swirling around. Since cinnamon represents that, among other things, and love. Okay. Next is to watch how you talk to yourself and increase your level of privacy. It's very easy during this time, right before you get to that level up point, because we can feel it. We feel it. I talk to so many people and we're all feeling it. We know something really big, really awesome, really amazing is coming. Don't psych yourself out of it. Don't self-sabotage yourself out of your blessings. You worked too damn hard to get here. Don't stop here. Keep going. So when you're feeling off, and I was feeling off too the other day. When you're feeling off, you're just like, oh, I just want to lay down. It's okay. We just have those days. I mean, hello, I'm a Pisces moon. I'm going to have these days. It's okay. Go eat some soup. Watch something on Netflix. It's okay. But don't talk to yourself as if you're this person who's lazy, doesn't want to do any. No, you're just having a moment. That's it. You're just having a moment. And unfortunately, some people around you will treat that as, oh, you're not doing it. What are you doing? No, no, no. You're just having a moment and you're entitled to a moment. And increase your level of privacy. I cannot stress this enough. It's like a commodity now. I remember back in the day, people wanted to be private. They didn't want anyone in their business. Now it's more people post things on social media. And I think to myself, what am I supposed to do with this information? It sounds like you should be, oh, I don't know, contacting a therapist. Maybe call the person. Maybe, I don't know, this is a scary one, be direct. God forbid. The amount of indirect things I see on social media, I'm thinking to myself, I thought one of the things we look forward to when we became adults was being able to communicate with other adults, like, yeah, adult is cool. Adulthood is cool. When you're a kid, you think it's so cool. And then and it is cool. I love adulthood, but sometimes I think, wow, it's like when you were a kid, this is how you imagine you would be talking to people. It's so crazy. So privacy will be one of your superpowers, seriously, because you're adding more protection to what you're looking to accomplish, more protection with your life. And it's not just about people saying what they don't like about what you're pursuing. Some people are going to say, oh, you sure you want to do that? It's not just about that. It's about the psychic, emotional attacks that people will try to do. I've seen this time and time again. Whenever I tell people, stop telling these people your business, whenever I do that, quote unquote, weird things stop happening. People stop getting sick. Things stop getting lost. Things stop breaking. It's not that people purposely do it all the time. Some people are mean and they don't want you to level up. Other people, they get jealous because they think they might be left behind, which they will be for various reasons. But that's not on you. You can't bring someone with you who doesn't want to grow. It's sad to see, but they will bring you down. It's so weird. You can't bring people up who don't want to do better. And I'm not saying they're in a terrible, horrible place, but it's just a matter of, okay, would you like to make more money? Yes. Okay, well, you're going to have to step your game up with XYZ. Oh, no, I'm going to do LMNOP. It's like, well, that's not sustainable. Okay. So, and then you try hard to help them. And what you end up doing is pouring all that energy, not all, but a lot of your energy goes to that person. You try to find more ways to help them. So less focus is on you. Next thing you know, you're several levels down and didn't realize it. You can literally invite the person in the room to be with people who can help them, and they will fumble the ball. That's it. It's a crazy dynamic, but it happens. So when you stay private, they can't get access to you the way they used to. And that's going to rip some people to shreds. Remember, because they have this sense of entitlement to you. I'm not talking about people who are well-deserving. They were there for you. They supported you. They even challenged you when you needed to be challenged. They called you out when you needed to be called out because they care. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about those emotional vampires who want to contact you because they need to emotionally dump. And it's not always about their boyfriend or whatever part of their life. Sometimes they just want to feel good. So they just talk. You can't even get a word in. And you're like, oh, okay. So they might ask you one question and then they got to go. You're just like, what? Because they just wanted to talk about, reminisce, whatever. So they feel good. Like, yeah, and yeah. Just trying to suck your energy. So again, being private means access revoked. And there's going to be about, I don't know, maybe 4 people who's going to have VIP access to you, or however many people per the people who make it that far in your life. All right, next is review, and I talked a little bit about this. Review what you eat, drink, consume with your mind. So basically what you consume on all fronts. When you are leveling up, you may notice things like certain foods don't taste the same anymore. Certain things that used to entertain you are no longer entertaining. And it's not just about growing up when, for example, you were a kid and you liked, I don't know, Frosted Flakes. And now you're just like, I don't eat cereal anymore. This is about you eating something on the regular as an adult for years. And it's been no problem. Now all of a sudden you're not interested. You're just not interested in a lot of things. What you're drinking, you can have alcohol, but if you feel like that's not for you, don't order it for the sake of ordering it. I used to party so much from Thursday to really Monday morning, and no problem. Still worked. Party central. As I got older, now I rarely drink. It's crazy. Literally, I have a bottle of vodka, I have Ciroc, I have Tiramana, I have a bottle of wine my best friend brought back from Italy. I have all these wonderful, wonderful spirits. And they've been there for months. I have not been drinking as much. And that's okay. When I go to the restaurant, other people are having a drink. I order lemonade. Sometimes if I'm in the mood, yes, I will get a drink. But not if I don't want to. And it's not about, oh, I'm so spiritual now, I couldn't ever. No, I love vodka. I'm not giving up vodka. What I'm saying is, if you feel like at that time it's not for you, don't do it. You're changing. But you consume with your mind. Less and less things are going to hold your interest. Like I said, I got rid of my cable. I did. It's too much telling me of what I should think, and less of here are the facts. You come up with your own conclusion. It's too much of the fake. We stand for this. What are you actually doing? I see so much of this fake bandwagon stuff. And you know what? Done. My morning starts with my morning actually starts with gratitude before I even get out of bed, and then followed by mind prepping and other things. So review what you eat, drink, and consume with your mind. Don't entertain conversations anymore. When people say stupid things or they try to hook you in, don't give a response. Change the subject. Don't try to, it's not even a conversation anymore, because some people are going to do what they're going to do no matter what, no matter how many times you present to them. That's not sustainable. That hasn't worked for you in the past. It's still not working now, and is not going to work in the future. But you know what? Carry on. I'll be over here. We're not going to talk about that topic anymore. Don't come to me about. I have told people before, nope, I'm not going to talk to you about that because X, Y, Z. All right. Shifting gears to entitled people. We talked about what to do to help you prepare for this level upcoming. increasing your daily and weekly rituals to expand upon that. Start cleansing your house. Just throw away the stuff, the old you clothes, the old, just throw it away. Watch how you talk to yourself and stay private, and review all the things you consume, what you eat, what you drink, what you consume with your mind. When it comes to dealing with these entitled people, as you are leveling up, maintain your balance or balance. Yes, your balance. Well, it's like a chaotic balance is what I believe. I don't think balance is necessarily achievable or sustainable. Maybe you could be balanced for some time, but I believe there's more chaotic balance, if that makes sense, where things work when they shouldn't have worked, but they did work, Anyway, maintain your boundaries is actually what I wanted to say. And understand that you're raising your standards in the process, and that's okay. When you are saying no to certain people, certain things, and yes to yourself, that's going to make a few people irate. Those people who had, again, that all access to you and now access revoked because they mistreated it. They mistreated you, not appreciative, etc. They're going to want to find cracks in your wall, in your defense shields, okay? Maintain those boundaries. Just because someone starts to act nice and it seems like they calm down and accepted the decisions you've made, such as the boundaries you set up, don't you let up, okay? Whatever is the high boundary, was it Bravo, Charlie, whatever it is, whatever color scheme it is, maintain your boundaries. Because if you have a crack in your wall, if you leave that door slightly open and they just go right on in, what do you think they're going to do to your boundaries? They're going to try to break those walls down. They are going to find a way to flood the basement. They're going to throw off your whole kingdom. Yes, because your life is your realm. This is your world. They're going to throw off that just for the sake of them to feel good or whatever they need from you. It's not worth it. Your standards are being raised. If someone wants to deal with you on a personal level, they're going to have clearance. Okay? They need clearance. All right? They're not getting through. They're outside the club. They're 3 miles down. No, we can't have that. Because it's only going to get better and better and better for you. But if you have one person, all it takes is one person who doesn't want that because they're like, why me? Or, yeah, I should be here. Everyone has a role in your life. And if someone wants to overstep, that's static. That is not a good situation. People like that will bring a whole boat down just to get their point across and will swim to a raft. They'll swim somewhere else. Don't think they won't. So maintain those boundaries. Understand your standards are being raised and you may want to expand upon your boundaries. And I talked about boundaries in previous episodes. I talk heavily about boundaries in my Goddess Mastery course. 2 is to accept that you cannot change certain people. You can't bring certain people with you. You can't uplift anyone who doesn't want to be uplifted. You can love from afar, bless people from afar, but you cannot bring them with you. And sometimes when I tell people this, some people say, oh yeah, but that's been my friend since grade school, but that's my so-and-so relative. But I'm like, I understand. But here's the thing. Once again, if someone doesn't want what's best for you, what do they want then? You should be able to tell people good news. You should not be afraid to tell someone bad news. You should be able to be yourself around people and not be on guard with the people who are close to you, that is. Okay, because these are the people who tend to feel the most entitled sometimes. Some people. You can't change certain people. Sometimes we want to hold out that hope. And I'm not saying that you have to give up on people. What I'm saying is they don't have the right to constantly tax your time in the process. Some people have to fall flat on their face for them to get it. And it's up to you to welcome them back or say, I see you've changed, but I'm at a point in my life that I only have room for a certain amount of people. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm glad you're doing well, but I'm not interested in reconnecting, reestablishing. No hard feelings. I'm just living over here and you're living over there. Peace be with you. Okay. Next is, and I don't like to say except for this part, but it is what it is. You're going to have to accept that with entitled people, you are the villain. I don't care what they told you. Trust me when I say this. They told someone else a different story, making you look like the villain. Meanwhile, they still want to connect with you because they want whatever it is you have, they want. It doesn't have to be material things all the time. They just may want the love and attention you receive, but you are being yourself. So it's natural, it flows, but they want their source of energy to come from you and that person, and not from spirit. That's the problem. So when they, again, have that access revoked, you now become the villain. How dare you? How dare you? Right? They'll say, so they will make up stories or elaborate, it's, with a current story. There may be something simple, like you told them no, and it becomes something else, like, oh, you got a paper cut, but now you need surgery. It's like, how did we get here? Okay. Understand that you will be the villain. I mean, for what it's worth, some villains have a really cool origin story. Okay. So some villains like, hey, look, I worked hard to get where I'm at. All right. Check the receipts. Ask about me. Ask around. All right. I worked very hard to get here. I have a pretty cool story. It's my hero's journey. And the fourth thing here is to really bring it all together. When you maintain your boundaries and increase them, when you accept that you can't change people, so you just have to distance yourself from them or remove them completely from your life. Once you accept what it is, including you being a villain, spirit will give that person what I call the spiritual pink slip, which means that at a point in time, you won't have to do anything because the gap between you and them is so huge that you're not on their radar. They can't get in contact with you. Sure, they can send you a text message, but you may not see it because you got so many things going on. That may be 15 text messages down. Hey, you're not on their radar. They can't see you. It's like John Cena. They can't see you. You're not on their radar. You're vibing so high. Hey, spirit's just like, hey, I'm gonna need you to log off. I need you to log off, sign out. Okay. As you start to answer the text messages less and less, or not even answer, but just when you're capable, when you have the capacity to do so, when you decline hanging out, when you don't feed into their circus, or rather when you don't attend their circus, spirit creates that buffer further and further and further away you guys are. The line is not strong. What are you going to talk about? Again, this isn't about you making six figures and the person is starting all over and they're starting all over from scratch. No, it's not about money. It's about mindset. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about being happy for someone because they are at a point where they can live the life that they want to live, or at least closer to living that life. Even if you're not where you're at, you can still be happy for someone. It's about that. So one thing I didn't say here is, which you can also do is, of course, protection magic and defensive magic that will, of course, help you. Tourmaline at the windowsills in front of your door, black pepper, asking the deity you work with to protect you, go ahead of you in situations. Of course, using discernment with that, understanding who you are talking to, the person that you have to deal with. And of course, direct protection spells. All right. Whew, that was a lot. I was talking for a very long time. All right. So I'm looking at my notes and I covered everything. And I want you to also remember that this space right before you level up, as you're preparing for it, you've done all you can do, and you're feeling a little restless, a little excited because you're like, yeah, it's coming, it's coming. I understand also it can feel a little scary because it's a bit of an unknown and you're going to have to make the decision to accept that next level. It's like when you get a promotion and you went to the interview and they ask you this final question, do you want to accept this position, or we would like to have you, and you can say no at that time. You can go all the way to that point and they ask you, do you accept this position? And you just, no. Okay, so make sure that you are saying yes to yourself and constantly prepare yourself for this because you've earned it. Okay, you've earned this. All right, so I'm going to end it here. I am sending you so many blessings, lots of love. You know I'm rooting for you. Remember to be kind to yourself. Until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, Magical One. Let's keep in touch. Join the VIP email list by going to tiamariejohnson.com. And as always, I'm sending you lots of love, many blessings. I'm rooting for you. And remember to be kind to yourself. Until next time.